never seen.
Yo, what's up everyone? Bill here for Classic Rock and Metal Review. Time to delve into a release that I picked up about a month ago. Kind of just wandered into this thing in a record store. Pretty cool little collection. It's from Ratt. It's called From the Streets to the Strip, the Rarities collection. This being part 1. All right, let's call it what it is. Basically a bootleg. Maybe some of you consider it gray market just because it's out there, but not sanctioned by the band. That makes it a bootleg to me. And per Discogs, this label, Dirty Roxxy Records, the only 2 things they've ever released, part 1 of this in my hand here, and part 2, that one's subtitled Success and Excess. But this one here, From the Streets to the Strip, early days, demos and such, we'll explore it for you. A couple of things that make this a really cool pickup. Number one, that probably about 4 or 5 years ago, I was doing some research, doing the legwork, try to put a Ratt Rarities collection together myself. Looking on Discogs, online, YouTube, see what I could come up with. Came up with actually a pretty nice, healthy list of stuff. All right, and made all these notes in my phone. One day I'm going to sit down in front of the computer, extract all these rarities, dump them into iTunes and print a CDR, customize some artwork out of my label printer. You know, it just never happened. All right, I'm way too busy now to do this sort of thing, and was really hoping to just run into something like this. Now, has Ratt given us anything like this? No. These guys really just can't get their act together in several ways, as we all know. But one of them being releases with this kind of material, okay? So I'm not just talking about the Ratt EP. That's easy enough to get. I've had this CD for about 5 years and had it on cassette, I think, back in the day. I picked up the album maybe 6 or 7 years ago. That was a real score. It was in a 3 for $10 bin back on the shelf over that shoulder there. All right, so I want something more. I'm talking demos. This band has some history and a bunch of rarities out there. So that's the first thing. Makes it cool. Lots of stuff that I've been really wanting. Demos from the EP and earlier era of the band. Now, another thing that makes it really cool. I was in a record store and I was in one of those moods where it's going to have to be something really special for me to even buy something. I have such a backlog of stuff already. And sure enough, right before I was about to leave, I don't know why, I went over to the Ratt section of their CDs, and that's where this guy was. And they have a section of some bootleg gray market stuff in the store. And this wasn't there. I already was there. This was in with the regular CD. So, you know, kind of got lucky finding it. Like I said, I was just about to split. Now, you know, the band has given us a couple of sort of half-ass old school releases. Mickey Ratt, Best of Mickey Ratt, whatever they called that thing. And the Collage album. I think, from what I know about those albums, I almost bought both of those CDs. When I looked more into them before I bought them, it was a lot of remade songs, re-recordings, and live material. I'm looking for the actual demos, all right, like you guys are. So that's what we get here. At least a decent amount of them, okay? I would have loved a double CD of that stuff. There's certainly a lot more material that they could have included in here that they did not. But we will delve all into it right now. But first, I am parched. That whiskey did not ward off that cold. I've been struggling the last few days. But man, a nice dose of NyQuil last night. And an 11-hour sleepathon. But you know what? I earned it. 4 12-hour days in a row in work. And I'm going for breakfast right now. All right, around 1 in the afternoon. It's Jack and Coke. I like that mix. I'm usually a highball guy. All right, Jack and Coke seem to work. Yes. All right, let's do a little bit of that history that I found out. And maybe along the way I'll show you a couple of notes I made in my phone. All right, but Stephen Pearcy, vocalist of Ratt, his musical career actually goes back to 1973. Is that not nuts? That is, I think. 1976, he forms Mickey Ratt. Sometime around 77, they just become Ratt. I think to avoid any problems with Mickey Mouse, the whole Disney thing. But there's several demo songs out there. I think they might be on the Ratt Madness album. Top Secret, I think, is one of them from 77. And then Ratt is the song. There was a 4-song EP out in 78. There was a 45 7-inch single in 79, Driving on E, Dr. Rock on the Other Side. By 1981, Jake E. Lee is in the band. They do a You Got It EP. I think that song and 3 others are on that one. And then Tell the World is on the Metal Massacre 1 album. That's in 82. Later removed from future pressings after the first pressing of that, as you guys already probably know. Also from 82, future Ratt guitarist Robin Crosby's band called Macmeta, or Macmeta, however you pronounce that. Dumb name, by the way. They cut some demos, including 2 future songs that would be on Ratt's Out of the Cellar. So as you can see, plenty of vintage Ratt to be found, and enjoyed here. Some attempts by the band, like I mentioned. Collage, 1997, mostly re-recordings, and a couple of the older original songs, it sounds like. And more recently, 2024's Rarities, okay? This one is mostly live, though. So can this band get anything right ever? They just really can't get their reunions right. We have no deluxe editions from these guys, It just goes on and on with them. And even their attempts at getting some demos out there, they just have to tinker with them, So I'm not really sure what the deal is there. But first things first, before you even get into the listening experience with this thing, the packaging's awesome. You get this cool slipcase on the outside, and we'll go through all of it at the end here. And I already showed you the back with your titles and such. Nice quality cardboard product there. And inside a jewel case, so be enjoying this forever, all right? I'll be dead before this thing gets banged up like a digipack would probably be within a few years, okay? Titles and all on the back of that guy too. So we'll explore the whole inside of this thing once we talk about the music. But when you flip it open, you get, if you include the front and back pages of the booklet, it's 16 pages. Color, very informative stuff on each song. The CD itself, as you can see, with Robin Crosby right on there, is kind of cool. This seems like it was put together by a fan, to be honest with you. Not just your run-of-the-mill money grab. And a cool band shot on the back behind the CD there. So that's just your basic packaging. We'll go through that book as we go through the material, which unfortunately doesn't contain any super early material like from the 70s or any of Robin Crosby's Macmeta recordings. But here's what it does include. It is pretty cool. First, we start off with Tell the World from Metal Massacre 1 compilation. All right, that's a really cool version of that song. It's crisp, it's tight, a bit drier production than the eventual version on the EP, but nice, raw, rough sound as you'd expect. And a lot of you have probably heard that before. Sound is very good, if not excellent, all right? Next up, You're in Trouble, bonus track from the UK version of the Ratt EP. I never knew this even existed. It was hard to even find out much information about this, okay? Because this was, I guess, an 83 version. Maybe it was an 85, not sure. But by the time this EP was repressed again in 87 and also 91, this track's not on there anymore. So it really was a sort of limited edition version. Very cool again. It's a little bit different from what we're used to. The music's quieter during the verses, but the guitar is going on during the verses too. Not just bass and drums like the version we're used to. So it's a little different and I really kind of like it. It is a true rarity here. Only a limited edition kind of thing. I don't even know this version of the EP was out there. Okay, so I know it got repressed for the US once Out of the Cellar kind of hit, but they apparently did another version for the UK and beyond from the EP. You're in Trouble, another cool one, and into some 1981 demo action with In Your Direction, all right? Again, the drums are kind of flat, and Piercy's voice is a little tinny on the sound on this one, but very listenable and very cool. So far, I'm really liking these 3 songs, all right? Number 4, Love on the Rocks, unreleased demo, okay? It's undated here on this back cover. However, I did find out that it is from 1991, all right? So a little bit of a misstep here with your early years rarities, all right, as far as this release goes. But it's a decent song. It's not awesome. The chorus kind of makes it. Love on the Rocks, that chorus is a cool chorus and a catchy one. And I'm surprised it wasn't on whatever album they were doing at that time, all right? Detonator, maybe, that era. So it's cool to have a new song, even if it's really dates back to probably 89, somewhere thereabouts. And I think this is also on the newer Rarities from 2024. All right, Sweet Cheater, the opener of the EP, 1983 demo version. And it is rawer, it's very similar in nature to what we got on the EP, but still more coolness there with Sweet Cheater. Next, You Think You're Tough, more action from the 1983 demo. And again, just more raw version of what we got on the original Ratt EP. Unfortunately, this one fades after a minute or two. According to the inside liner notes, that was all that was available on the source tape. So, at number 7, another demo from 83. This is the full version of You're in Trouble. Okay, a little bit different on this one. Very similar to the earlier version, okay, that you had as a UK bonus track from the 1983 EP. There's your classic demo material there. No, it's not a shit ton of stuff. Yeah, the sound's not perfect, but it is some really actually pretty damn cool raw and rare stuff. And songs 8 from 11, lifted from the video live at Rock Palace, Hollywood, California, 1984. Okay, it's cool that it's from that era. The sound is just good on those. Whenever you lift music off a video, it's never really as awesome as true audio stuff. And that's kind of the case here. It sounds okay, but let's put it this way. If you watch the video on YouTube, that sounds better than the audio on this CD. But it's still cool that you got 4 live songs here of the era so far, the CD. Other than the one song from 89 is 1981 through 84 material. You Think You're Tough, You're in Trouble. Morning After has a pretty cool jam going on, extended guitar solo, and then Rounded Round finishes this little show off, okay? Then last but not least, we get Wanted Man. It's actually live in Japan, 1991, and it is audience quality, pretty crappy, typical audience quality, I should say. All right, listenable, but not nearly as good as the rest of the songs on this CD. I probably have a bigger problem with the fact that it's a 1991 song, making it onto this. Otherwise, like I said, 81 to 84 disc, all right? Everything here up until this live song was at least pro-recorded, all right? Consider it a bonus track, I guess is a good way to look at it. So there you have it, guys. Dirty Roxxy Records released from 2022. Ratts from the Streets to the Strip. Rarities Collection Part 1. Is it the dream rare demo collection that I wanted to put together from that list that I made 5 years ago? Absolutely not. But it is very, very cool to listen to, and at least it is the material I'm looking for, as opposed to some of those Ratt official releases that we've gotten over the years. So why they did not include earlier Ratt stuff and Mac Media demos, they're easily available on the internet and YouTube. I'm not really sure. Certainly could have did a better job digging into those vaults, but I'm pretty happy with what we got at least. Now, the one thing I cannot complain about at all is the packaging. Really impressive. Let's go through that. For a non-official release, I would say it's the best I've ever seen. That includes all the bootlegs I've ever collected. All right, I mean, none of those give you 16-page booklets. So let's delve into that for a little bit. I already showed you the gist of it, so let's pull that booklet out, show you what I'm talking about. Now, part 2 of this, Success and Excess, it's called. I think that material starts around 87 on up. I don't know how far it goes, but there's your cover, okay? That's kind of cool. But each song gets its own page, all right, basically. The little Metal Massacre description, cover shots of both front and back cover of the album, all right? What do we got here? Live shot of somebody, Juan, maybe. You're in Trouble from that UK Ratt EP. There you get pictures of it, all right? And the original one and the different back cover that was on the UK version of that EP. 81 demos, so we get some pictures and a little explanations of that material there. That's pretty awesome. All of the appropriate era too, the photos that go with this stuff. And the 3 songs from the 83 demo that are there. That's on your page there with the black and whites. All right, so again, cool. We got the official promo shot from the record company there. And what do we got here? Just some random stuff, you know, and it's all pretty cool. I can't say I've seen a lot of this stuff, honestly. Not that I'm like a mega Ratt fan looking into all this, you know, honestly, but a little centerfold shot there. All right, what do we get? Here's our live stuff. Explanation. Where are we at? Rock Palace. I already told you that. Taken from the TV stereo broadcast. All right, One Man Live, Osaka, Japan. They just don't date it, but at least they come clean with the locale. All right, so what do we got? A couple more pages of just some random stuff. Got some photos. All right. What do we got? More backstage passes, more posters. We're heading into the late 80s, I guess, there. So they're going a little beyond with some of these photos, but it's all good. Man, what a nice little package. I got to tell you, if you run across this, I think I paid 18 bucks for that thing. I would say, if you're like me and you wanted something different from Ratt besides the 6-song EP out of the cellar, you want some 81 to 84, a little rough to listen to. If you're a perfectionist, you're not going to love the sound quality here. But to me, I thought it was more than good enough. And I kind of like that raw edge demos got. What do you expect? They're unofficial release demos. They're going to be a little out there. Guys, that's going to do it for now. Coming up, what do we got? That 24 wrap-up, 25 preview show. That's where I'll give stuff away. Sorry, no cigar again with this episode. Again, not trying to pull your string. I just got to do what I got to do when I can do it. Lizzie 76 review. Anno Domini. What are my favorite tunes? I'm going to do all those things before we move into the new year. All right? No monthly haul for January as far as listening in December. I was just too damn busy. All right, guys. Let me get to this. Let me get back to the couch. All right? I like me a good day off every once in a while. Light the fire. Watch some classic rock and metal review. Catch us all later.